Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hundoke with Reverend Yutaka Yamada. This day being Sunday, the 27th of June, or the 18th of May in the 9th year of Chonglukuk. Let's begin with offering a bow to our Heavenly Parents and True Parents. Chariot. Kambe. Pado. And let's recite our family pledge both in Korean and in English. Thank you.
가존맨세 8. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 천일국 시대를 맞이하여 절대 신앙, 절대 사랑, 절대 복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지산천국과 천산천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 8. Our family, the owner of Chonglukuk, pledges having entered the era of Chonglukuk to achieve the ideal of God and human beings united in love through absolute faith, absolute love, and absolute obedience, and to perfect the realm of liberation and complete freedom in the kingdom of God on earth and in heaven by centering on true love. Thank you. Right, I'd like to ask Mayumi if she could offer the opening prayer today. Are you there, Mayumi? No. Looks like Mayumi is not there. Okay. Maybe I can ask Reverend Mansur Han, if you could offer the opening prayer today for us. Yeah. Just unmute yourself, please. Yeah. Thank you. Need to unmute yourself. Mansur is praying, but he's not unmuting. He is praying. Mansur, can you unmute yourself, please? Sorry. They need to put the sound on. Yes. Okay.
Yes, okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's pray. 사랑과 충만하신 아버지 하나님 참부모님, 오늘 거룩한 성일을 맞이해서 참부모님과 함께 할 수 있는 귀한 시간 허락해 주시고 함께 해주심을 진심으로 감사드립니다. 아버님 처음부터 끝까지 함께 할 수 있고 또한 아버님 오세아니아 전체가 하나 되어져서 이 땅에 부모님의 나라 하늘 부모님을 모실 수 있는 그한 나라를 찾아 세울 수 있는 이 귀한 날이 될 수 있도록 허락해 주시고 축복하여 주시옵소서. 모두가 함께하는 마음과 또한 모두가 일체된 마음으로 하늘을 모실 수 있고 또한 하나님을 대신해서 찬 부모님을 대신해서 이 땅에 하늘의 말씀과 찬 부모님의 말씀을 전파할 수 있고 이 땅에 온전히 하늘 부모님이 만왕의 왕으로 군림하실 수 있는 그날까지 저희들이 할 수 있는 모든 것을 다 할 수 있도록 지켜주시고 함께해 주실 것을 진심으로 부탁드리고 원하면서 오늘 아침 훈독회 시간 전체를 주관해 주시고 함께해 주시옵소서. 축복 종신가정 한만수 타니의 가정의 이름으로 보고하며 아뢰사옵나이다. 아주.
Aju. Thank you. So let's offer a warm welcome to Reverend Yutaka as he shares with us this morning. Thank you.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Thank you for joining this morning Hundoke in Oceania. We are really in the beginning of the new week and new day. We really appreciate to put Johnson and prayer and offering together with our all brothers and sisters today. Let's begin today's new great day. Now in Sydney, because of the COVID situation, Sydney was locked down, and every day the number is increasing. So even another island nation is also facing a little bit a serious situation. So please pray for those environment and those happening now, not only Oceania and also the world level. What kind of message really God is preparing, and really we have to understand and we have to overcome. So each single moment is a precious and also important moment. So please pray for those nations, and we will find and overcome quickly. And today is Sunday, and today from 9:30 a.m. Korean time, 10:30 Sydney time, Trimada organized the Peace Festival centering on Korea and also world level. This project is welcoming for the new people and new guests. Basically, if Sunday, we will go to the Sunday service, right? So before Sunday service, Church Parents is organize this project. Maybe I will show this one. Peace Festival, You Are Heaven's Joy. So Heavenly Parents Holy Community, this organized by the Heavenly Parents Holy Community today. So we are organizing Heavenly Parents Holy Community. So Chombo family, Blessed family, and Heavenly Parents Holy Community. What is Heavenly Parents Holy Community? We will invite all people in the world, even any kind of religion, any kind of nationality and culture. Heavenly Parents Holy Community become the umbrella to welcome everyone. That's why as the starting point, some entering gate of this Heavenly Parents Holy Community, Trimada prepare this Peace Festival. So maybe some of you joined already, some of you is the first time. When you join this Peace Festival, you could feel some joyful moment, many entertainment and performance and sing a song, and also this beautiful testimony and the beautiful message. So if new person come this Peace Festival to make those person to be happy, joy, and welcome. That's why even from now, if you have some good friend, please invite. And if you don't know so much, then this time please join well and feel fast. The next time you can invite your friend and your guest. So Peace Festival, Peace Service in Peace Training. This become the entering gate as the Peace member. Then after that, Member Family Federation, Blessed Family, and Chombo Family. So this is the first stage, so we can prepare for the Peace member. Of course, some person can enter directly to a Family Federation member is no problem, but we will welcome for Peace as the Peace member, then going to Family Federation, then Blessed Family, and Chombo Family. So this is the process. So I hope today's event also there are many kind of program. So please invite and join together. So let's continue our Trimada's autobiography. So yesterday we are share the part of the meeting with Chairman Kim Il-sung in North Korea with two parents. Two parents received the invitation from Chairman Kim Il-sung, and before entering to North Korea, they went to Hawaii and offered a prayer and prepare their heart to love, embrace enemy as the parents. So this heart is important and preparation is important. So yesterday, I'm really appreciate many people to share your heart about loving enemy. This is not simple word, loving enemy. So let's think about this. We are talking about true parents' life course and also our heavenly parents, and we try to inherit, understand about God's heart, understand about our true parents' heart, and try to inherit true parents' heart. Then when we think about the word of loving enemy, the word which true mother is true parents is using, and the word we are using, loving enemy, the feeling and our level is same or not. When we think about heart, not only loving enemy, another word also same. True father, true mother talking about living for the sake of others, forgive the people, embrace people. This feeling, this sharing, and our understanding and our sharing is same or not. For example, there is some couple here who lost the child by accident. How we can comfort that kind of person if the person have a experience, more serious experience, more bitter experience, more than that family who lost the child, then that person can comfort, that person can really understand and connect the feeling, pray together and shed tears more than that family, more than that person. Then that person's heart will be comforted and liberated. We are talking about liberation of God, liberation of God's heart. What that meaning is, how we can understand, how we can realize and experience more than what Heavenly Parents experience, more than what Heavenly Parents passed on through the history. And our true parents course, actually exactly this course which true parents went. So when we see our testimony or message, our true father in the beginning time, true father and God relationship is almost that situation. True father in the early time pray and pray without sleeping and crying and shed tears 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and met God and shed tears more than God. True father shed tears and understand the painfulness and suffering God's heart more than God felt. This is the cause of true father and understanding and connect together. That's why really if our heart, if the really connected by heart, then we don't need to use the word anymore. Just meet, see each other, heart will be connected directly. So I brought one True Father's message from Pyeongfagyeon, peace message. I want to share this message also before going to Mother's autobiography. This is Pyeongfagyeon, peace message. False love, false life, and false lineage have infested the earth. God's love, life, and lineage fell into the hands of the adulterer Satan, the enemy of love. Heaven and earth were suffocated and transformed into hell. God is like a father who worked and sweated his entire life to accumulate assets for his children, only to find that a thief stole everything in one night. Who can comprehend the sorrowful, painful heart of God? God lost his lineage, lost his children, and was forced to hand over ownership of the nations and the world to Satan. My task, the task of Reverend Moon, is to complete the mission of the true parents. My life, therefore, has been one of sorrow, marked by inexpressible suffering and persecution. My course has taken me down thorny path through the wilderness, paths that I had to follow while utterly alone. Not even God could acknowledge me. Hovering many times between life and death, even vomiting blood, my life has been like that of phoenix that had to rise again. Who on earth can understand the life of Reverend Moon, a life that has been one of perfecting a model of absolute love? Mine has been a life of misery, biting my tongue. I have had to endure everything in order to comfort God and to bring about the salvation of the fallen people of the world who are suffering in the realm of death. Even now, if someone were to look into my heart and speak one word of sympathy, I would burst into tears, and my tears would flow like a waterfall. So this is a father sharing about his whole life. To the mother, also same. So last part, what father said, if someone were to look into my heart and speak one word of sympathy, I would burst into tears, and my tears would flow like waterfall. If the person could understand the heart, then there is no need, that word is not needed. Just look into the heart, look into look to the person's eye. Already people feel and shed tears. Father also sharing those heart. So we are talking about loving enemy. What kind of level of enemy? Also God shared. He worked so much harding and prepared everything for children, but children was taken away, killed. My children was killed, parents was killed, and all relative was killed. So that sadness or suffering moment, that kind of enemy, the thief is that kind of enemy, and try to love. This is the loving enemy. So how we can understand? So when they go to the Kim Il-sung to meet Kim Il-sung, what kind of enemy, what kind of existence? So when we call father, when we call our true father, when we call true mother, how about deep connection? How about connection by heart? We can enter to our true parents' heart. How about our distance? Of course, it's not easy to have a same experience with our true parents, going to jail, going to suffering way, but through prayer, through our daily life, we are trying to connect and find our God's heart and our true parents' heart. Then we can reach the level and the world of heart through Heavenly Driver Messiah, through witnessing, through providence or activity. Sometimes we feel also regret, frustration, emptiness, but those experience itself is the way to find God's heart and true parents' heart. Sometimes because of that person, maybe my life was totally destroyed or suffering, but how find God's heart and to embrace and also connect together. Our time period to live in this world is really short time. During short time period, we have to really experience, inherit many kind of heart of God, many kind of heart of true parents. Then we can liberate our true parents' heart. We can liberate God's heart. Doesn't matter the age, doesn't matter how old you are, but surely God is working together. So how we can inherit and really understand, this is really the precious moment. So now we are sharing about loving enemy. Three parents went to Hawaii and seriously pray and pray and pray in the Hawaii before going to North Korea. So when we pray, also really we have to imagine well, deeply pray, please God, let me enter the heart of true parents at that moment, and let us understand and connect and inherit. So those prayer connection is important. So after Hawaii prayer, finally true parents went to China, Beijing, and now enter to North Korea. So this is now the situation and mother sharing. So going back to true mother's autobiography. The chill of the cold winter wind we felt as we disembarked at Pyongyang Sunang Airport dissipated as we received the embrace of my husband's relatives. Of course, they all were grandmothers and grandfather. They grabbed hold of our hand and wept. A waterfall of tears surged in my heart, and I'm sure my husband's as well. But I bit my lip and held them back. We had committed ourselves to this venture for the sake of Heavenly Parent and the world, not for the personal happiness of our relatives or ourselves. So how many years true parents have been to North Korea? Almost after 41 years. Finally, true parents met to the relative of true father. So after Funan prison, true father went out from Korea. True mother also went out from Korea. Then finally they came back to North Korea. So during that time, until that moment, all family was living in North Korea by own self. So they had, maybe Chairman Kim Il-sung prepared. Now true parents is coming to North Korea. So you come and welcome them. So how about the meeting? Really, they miss each other, they love each other, they shed tears. But our true parents, they want to shed tears. They want to be happy more and more, but their position is not individual position. They went there as the true parents of humankind. That's why even they want to share, they wanted to shed tears to show them, embrace them, but they could not shed tears in front of them. There would be another trip for that. We assured each other, casting our breath on the water. We settled in the penny guest hall, and the next day, in accord with our lifelong tradition, we arose early in the morning and prayed. If there were surveillance camera in our room, all those prayers crying out for the unification of Korean Peninsula were recorded. That day and the next, we were given a tour of Pyongyang. So when they stay in the guest room whole day and also morning time, true parents shed tears and cry and pray for unification in North and South Korea. And meeting with Kim Il-sung and praying for Kim Il-sung and the people of North Korea, South Korea, unification, and also Heavenly Parents. That's why mother said, if there was camera recorded that room, surely they could find how much seriously our true parents shed tears and pray for unification between North and South Korea. Our meeting with a group of major North Korean government leaders at the Mansudae Assembly Hall on the third day of our stay has become a legend in North Korea. My husband and I knew that to speak for God and against the government's Chuche ideology in North Korea could be ground for execution, but we were resolved to risk death for the sake of peace and unification. Let it go on record, stating in the heart of North Korea, Father Moon denounced Chuche thought and the Chuche kingdom. He said loudly and clearly, the unification of North and South Korea cannot come based on Chairman Kim Il-sung's Chuche thought. So how much strong word? Center of North Korea, in front of the place, in front of the president, Chairman Kim Il-sung. He was watching and listening all things through video. He was not at the point, but all leader was there in front of them. What true father said, unification of North and South Korea cannot come based on Chairman Kim Il-sung's 주체 thought. How much strong your leader's thought is wrong, and surely it's impossible. This kind of a strong word through father and announce and telling that in front of all leaders of North Korea. North and South Korea can be unified peacefully, and Korea can become the nation that can lead the whole world only through the God-centered ideology and head-wing thought of unificationism. Furthermore, he refuted their propagandist posture that the Korean War started with the South invading the North. By the end of his speech, Father Moon admonished them, how can you call yourselves leaders? You cannot even control your own sexual organ. So even Father mentioning those things to them. So because North Korea is thinking this Korean War or division of North and South Korea because of South Korea. But Father said, no, this is wrong. You are wrong. Actually, this is not because of South Korea, because of your nation, because of your country. How you can say like this? And talking about the sexual organ, can you control your sexual organ? Even you cannot your sexual organ, how you can control your nation? So really, Father's word is direct, strong. And where is the place? Not ordinary place. This place is the center of North Korea, right? And even they sent 1987, they sent associated to Father in USA at the time. That kind of relationship between North and South Korea, Chairman Kim Il-sung and to parents, but they enter and directly to Father proclaim and said those things. The North Koreans were taken entirely by surprise. Their security personnel were anticipating the signal to rush in with guns drawn, even though they to some degree knew what Father Moon was planning to say. Our members accompanying us broke out in a cold sweat. I had turned that whole world with my husband, and we had met the leaders of many nations, but nowhere did we have to maintain courageous determination and serious resolve comparable to that day in Pyongyang. So our two fathers' courage and determination, and also to mother. Even I was not there, even we are not there, but when we heard those stories, how about our feeling, really, not exciting, really some afraid. Of course, one of the excitement. So how our life of faith, the way of life of faith, we have to offer everything and we have to deny the things which we are think preciously and we are thinking to keep most important things we have to offer and we have to give. Then God can come down and we can welcome God. When we see our life of faith, maybe you went through similar way until now, right? Every time have to offer the precious things, have to give, have to deny the precious or important things. Then after that, God can come and really can understand more God's heart. So when we see this part, I heard really Father and Mother is talking to them. They are thinking that 주체성 is the most important things for them. But you should deny that. You should deny your own thinking, own concept, own thought. God is more important. God is our parents. You deny yourself. then go back to God, go back to our heavenly parents. This is really Father is showing us and telling us, not only individual level, even talking to the national level, you deny yourself to go back to God. So how should parents prepare those environment and really fight the center of that place? So Father Moon's speech went far past the schedule for lunch, and everyone ate at separate tables in dead silence. Many thought that the chance of meeting Chairman Kim had just evaporated. My husband said it didn't matter. He had said what he came to say. On the 6th day, Chairman Kim sent 2 helicopters to transport us to Jeonju, Father Moon's hometown. So after ending of this conference through Father's speech, and what Mother said, they are eating, everyone is eating lunch at the separate table. There is North Korean leader and also 3 parents group. Everyone there, they are eating at the separate table in dead silence. So that atmosphere may be so silent and just eating silently together after through Father's strong message to North Korea. So we could see. So when we see our true parents' life course or true mother's autobiography, those things is not just learning the historical fact. In the same time, we are learning and we try to inherit and learn about their heart, our true father's heart, our true mother's heart, our heavenly parents' heart. So each moment, what kind of determination, what kind of seriousness to the parents offer and pray, and in order to welcome, in order to liberate God, in order to fulfill God's dream, to establish peace world in this world. How to the parents invested and invested, we could see and we could understand. That's why in order to fulfill the unification between North and South Korea, in order to fulfill unification of the world, the parents invested whole life and offer their sacrifice, their life and continue. That's why through our reading Fundoke, a reading book, let's also pray and find the moment and find this point to connect with our heavenly parents' heart and true parents' heart. So I want to share also Jeonsongyong word. Yesterday also we share about Jeonsongyong word. Anyway, the true mother's word and Jeonsongyong word, little bit different atmosphere, but I hope we can go together and read together. So yesterday we are talking about God. We are born without our desire or our decision. God decides everything. There is God's plan and there is God's motivation, purpose, and also hope whenever we are born. Whatever we do, but behind that, who are preparing those environment? This is an important part. So I read this. The vast human race came into existence through the process of men and women meeting each other and living together. Humanity is composed of numerous nations. The nations are composed of numerous tribes. The tribes are composed of numerous families, and the families are composed of numerous individuals. Each of us is one of those individuals and a member of a family. The family and blood relationship that bind us were not forged according to our own wishes. God gives us our birth, our family, and our relatives. Without God, relationships between teachers and students or between parents and children would not be possible. God is the cause, and all of these relationships in the world are the result. So we have a family, we have a relative, we have a tribe, we have a nation, but those relationships is also not created by ourselves. Those things are created by God. We were born in Australia. We are born in Korea, Japan. This is also not our personal plan. And some people were born in North Korea. Some people were born in Africa, Europe. This itself is also not by own choice or own desire. Behind of that, there is God's plan, God's purpose, and God's motivation. That's why how we can connect with God, connect with plan and desire of God. This point is important. That's why through our True Parents Life course, our also prayer for meeting Kim Il-sung, always before my thinking, pray God, God's hope and God's plan. So in our daily life, always we find and connect our heart with our Heavenly Parents. So today we are sharing several contents about loving enemy and inheriting how we can inherit God's heart, how we can inherit our true parents' heart. So those God's message is the precious. So through prayer, let's find and connect and go. Let's go into our true father's heart, true mother's heart, to touch their heart and to shed tears together. Just we see true father, just we meet true mother, without talking, without sharing word. If we connect the heart, true mother shed tears, we also shed tears together. This is the world of heart. So each moment we are also trying to connect, find, and then yeah, let's liberate and let's become filial son and daughter of heavenly parents. So once again, thank you everyone to join today's morning fundoke. Let's have a great time. Thank you very much. 감사합니다.
Thank you very much, Reverend Yutaka, as always. You're really bringing a lot of enlightenment. Okay, so thank you, everyone. And I was struck while Reverend Yutaka was reading that to be able to put God first, to be able to really think of others and to invest and to take risks. Really, it's that path of I recognize I have to continually overcome the basics. I really have to overcome myself. I really have to control myself. That word, biting my tongue. There's both father and mother in both of those readings said they bit their tongue. That expression of controlling themselves so that they can put God first, put their responsibility first, and that we have to continually do that. It's not some sort of a momentary thing. I have to do that, but it's a continual thing. Always have to control ourselves, and those basic things, food, sleep, sex, they just get in the way all the time. And sometimes I don't know, our selfishness just always is there behind us, and that selfishness is driven unfortunately by the fact that the fall took place and the satanic spirit world is real. So it's that controlling ourself is amplified by the fact that it's not just us that is causing the mistakes to continue, because what we do by not controlling ourselves is basically giving God more suffering, giving a greater burden to true parents, and yet that's our responsibility. It's our time now to take that responsibility. So that consciousness of needing to always continually overcome things that should be basically easy. We should be in control of ourselves, but unfortunately we're in a world where everyone's out of control, and it's just that's why we need a Heavenly Parent Holy Community, so that we can remind each other. That's why we need Hundoke in the morning, and guidance from our Heavenly Parents through Reverend Yutaka to remind us that it's the community that gives us the support to be able to go forward. And that's what we need to give to Mother and Father, our support, and to build that community so that we really do have the kingdom of heaven on earth. So I was just sort of overwhelmed by the fact that really got to control myself and continually do it. It's not something that's temporary. So thank you. Open it up to whoever. Yes, Mr. Wright, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. And today is one of the highlight of the history. And when Kim Il-sung died, I think so many people different kind of idea of action. Then I have dealt with one of a Korean elder in Melbourne, and he's one of the very deep and really respected person. Then when Kim Il-sung died, he was so struggle because he know how Kim Il-sung was so many terrible things done as a human being. So elder Korean was thinking he must be, pay penalty. How he can die like that way? He was incredible struggle. I think many of the people who had experience, like relative was killed in many ways, then wish, he must be, incredible, like pay, his, penalty. But that is, I think, normal or sensitive human being. But God's viewpoint is so different. Not to give a penalty, and someone like true parents, artistically and also substantially deal with, then to subjugate him substantially. This is one of the most difficult things. I think only true parent. That's why I think true parents appear. I think unification will be done in time. But the most important thing, viewpoint of God is someone really subjugate Kim Il-sung, because Kim Il-sung is different from Gorbachev father leader. Absolute, I think it's a dictator, many years. Incredible clever. Even many of the leader is in opposition made him. His approach, his talking is incredible. Not so easy to win with communication with him, but so father done incredible. But even the father meet the Kim Il-sung, like today, to mother said, needed. It is one of the biggest, and I think keep maintain courage. And I think because of God's heart really tears, only that one could win. And so that is one of the, that's why this is done. That's why God viewpoint, it is one of the most important victory, and not asking a penalty. Or I think it's a person who really showed God love. That's why unification, it will be no problem in the future. I think that's that way. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan. Okay, who likes to go next? Yes, Jeff, go ahead.
Yeah, just some unique fact about, well, fact I'm not sure of, but reading about Kim Il-sung, his parents were Christian missionaries. And he also used to go to church when he was young, according to what I found on the internet anyway. So that is kind of interesting. Even Karl Marx, I think his father was a priest of some sort.
Mm.
So sometimes, yeah, that's, yeah, just an interesting thing, really. We have a very strong leftist prime minister at the moment who was a Latter-day Saints when she grew up. So, yeah, anyway, sometimes things don't turn out well. So, anyway, just a point, yeah, to meditate on, really. So there must be some base when Father met Kim Il-sung, perhaps, you know, of something that could, some unity point of understanding. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, Elise, go ahead.
자기네.
예.
Need to unmute yourself.
Sorry, I just have to express it, especially when Reverend Yamada said about the environment, how God, how we are born from God in our environment. I'm born in Vienna, and actually my dad didn't want any children after the war, after going also these atrocities. So I felt right from the beginning rejected in my life. But anyway, I joined because my mother wanted to become a nun. And so I felt I have been finishing my study, the architecture, what my parents wanted. So out of I'm the only daughter. So anyway, but I grew up with 10 years, my grandmother died, who only has been suffering on the wheelchair. And she was the only religious one. So she had Jesus with the thorns, you know, in front of her bed when she went to bed. So my understanding, and I didn't realize that until long time after I joined, that my understanding about love was suffering. That's what I expected. And when I joined, it was only because of the duty I felt, because of my mother, because she was praying for me. That time she was quite sick, so she wanted to join herself, but and she recognized True Father. At that time we just said Master. I mean, there was no pictures anywhere. There was no understanding about True Father is the Messiah. But so anyway, what my point is that we are coming a long way. I think God really had to raise us through every experience we had to go through, and that was not love. I mean, that was not sort of a experience that yeah, what made us feel good. So anyway, my point is really that that I've realized after years and years and years of pushing myself to just join, because it was always like this, you're a soldier, you have to march, you march on and just do what you can, but at the same time feeling completely inadequate about how to do, what to do, because of that experience through suffering. How can we be motivated through experience constantly this suffering hard? So anyway, so it took me so long time to really to change that in my heart and to feel, no, I have to do things out of love. I can't. I was doing cleaning jobs and I constantly pushed myself out of duty, but then I felt, anyway, I can't get anywhere until I'm able to love. So that's why I'm so appreciative. Thank you so much to Reverend Yamada that he shows how two parents have been able to do their course because of that intimate, like to Mother. This was the first thing what really touched me so deeply when to Mother said how she got from her grandmother told her God is your father, so she could experience that fatherly heart, and then she could experience her motherly heart out of that experience with God. Anyway, sorry, I'm feeling so strongly about it.
Yeah.
But thank you.
Thank you. We got getting close to the end, so we've got two more people. First, Reverend Lim, and then Steve. Okay, go ahead, Suntek.
Yeah, I think because good morning, brothers and sisters. I think because of time, I won't go too long. This yesterday we had the Philippi festival in the USA. Until 2:00 a.m. This morning they finished, and Dr. Yong also was giving a beautiful speech. I think this topic today talk about loving communists and loving North Korea. Because of the failure of Christianity in Korea, Korea was divided. Then two parents' providence become one of to unify the right and the left. So and that include world level. And I really feel like thanks to Reverend Yamada's sharing this morning, I really feel that true parents not only teach, but they really practice loving the enemy. So for example, actually two fathers not only visit North Korea, but over many years, two parents send food to North Korea, and really show really love as a parent to the nation of North Korea. Father himself come from North Korea, and mother as well, but they really express their heart of love to North Korea. And I think that is a foundation for their meeting, because without love, how can they be welcome in North Korea? So that I think that same goes with Russia, and now China, and then I think the providence at the moment is a worldwide level. How can true mother eventually be able to guide China? That's why I think it probably will happen that someday true mother may meet President Xi Jinping in China one day, because of this can enable right and left wing providence to bring unity in the world to build Cheonryul. So and I just want to quickly thank you, Heavenly Parent. Last week we had a Philippi festival. I could not go into detail today, but I want to express gratitude to Heavenly Parent because right after 1 hour after our event, Sydney went into lockdown in terms of face mask restriction, all that, and now full lockdown. Just a week before we could really without face mask, and we could gather in a small room. We're really grateful for that. Yeah, and maybe another time share the other detail. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Steve, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I was struck this morning by the reminder of Father's boldness when he spoke, excuse me, to the leaders in North Korea, and how he spoke confidently about God is the answer, and that Juche ideology will never bring unity. It reminded me, not directly, but similarly to experience I had in May 7th, when I was invited to speak at the elders Friday morning gathering at Dr. Fahaki's church, one of the members of our PCLC here in Queensland. And I decided I would start out with 3 jokes. And I told a joke about the little angel, and then the monkey, and then how to get to heaven. And that brought some chuckles and broke the ice. And then I began to give a testimony. And I offered Father's poem, and then I read from Revelations 12. And I talked about my life searching for Jesus, my experience as a Vietnam veteran, and some of the suffering experiences of my life, the voices I heard as a young man spiritually, and looking for people like myself, because I had a born-again experience with Jesus, and I changed so dramatically. And it wasn't until I found the unification movement that I found peace, and I found people like myself who were filled with hope and vision and love, and a desire to make a contribution for the greater good. I spoke about 1976 being with 50,000 people in Yankee Stadium, and then 300,000 at the Washington Monument. My blessing with Susie, our son and daughter, and then some of the work I've done historically. And then I read Father's poem, The Crown of Glory, to them. These are elders in his church that have been with his church for, some of them, 30 and 40 years. Really wonderful men and women, older elders. And then I read from Revelations 12, a woman clothed with a sun, and I spoke about the age in which we live and the birth of the son, who Satan sought to kill, but the woman was caught up with God and then protected. And the great battle in heaven, and the time right now when the earth would be wrought with suffering because Satan knew his time was nigh. And I spoke about the importance of the unity of the body of Christ, and that regardless of what denomination we come from, we all belong to the same parent. And I think they were deeply moved by this, and so I was able to share my heart. But when you give a testimony, nobody could argue with it. They can't say, oh, that didn't happen to you. So if you have an opportunity to share the same kind of experience, your testimony can move the hearts of these Christian brothers and sisters and open up an opportunity to really develop a deep and a trusting relationship, which is something that I was able to do after this opportunity. So I'm really grateful that today, as John says, as always, we receive some nuggets, some truth, some memories, some opportunities to share our life experiences to draw us closer to one another. So I'm fed a lot through these morning services, and I thank you all for your contributions. Yeah, God bless. Have a great day.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Let's offer our unison prayer. I'll just share the screen, and we can pray together. Arju, Arju, Arju. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day and enjoy the Peace Festival.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And much victory.
Sure.
Thank you. God bless everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you, Steve.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Beautiful
you.
smiles. Look at all your smiles.